So whenever I post a video of me completing a drill or executing a certain type of shot, I quite often get asked in the comments, how many takes did it take you to complete that? And the honest answer is generally quite a lot. I'm quite open and have said on the channel before, I'm not the best player in the world. I'm a far better teacher than I am player. And sometimes it will take me a long time to do these. I'll spend a couple of days sometimes doing a drill over and over again until I get the result that you see on camera. So I just thought it'd be fun to show you a few little trick shots and to show you the failures that come before the successful shot. So this first one is 3 balls in a row. Looks dead straightforward. All you got to do is pot both the red and the yellow in the same shot. So sort of like a skill shot. You pot, you're the red player, pot the yellow, continue through with the cue ball and pot the red. And as you can see straight away, it's not as easy as it looks. This is a really good test as well of how straight you can cue. Also of how straight you can line the balls up. It's important that the balls are lined up straight. If they're not perfectly in line, then you don't stand a chance of doing this drill either. And you can see in a lot of these attempts, obviously they're not quite straight or have not quite cued straight, and it takes a tiny amount for the red to go off to the side, and then you don't make contact with the cue ball, or you don't get enough topspin to follow through and knock the red in. So really good exercise as well as being a trick shot of checking your cueing and delivering the cue in a dead straight line, really following through and focusing on hitting the cue ball really straight and making that straight contact with the red into the yellow that allows the red to then be potted if you get enough topspin on the cue ball. So this next one is using lots of topspin again, and the idea is to try and pot the red into the corner and then to force the cue ball to stay down at that end of the table so you can pot the black into the same pocket. You can see failed on the first attempt there. So you're trying to generate lots of topspin, a little bit of right hand side as well, to try and get the cue ball to arc round and end up behind the black so you can pot it back into the same pocket. And you can see that it's starting to pull the cue ball back but not generating enough spin, so you really have to stay nice and high on the ball and cue through it and really generate as much topspin as you can, so that as it bounces back and grips the cloth, it then pulls it back in an arc and comes round behind the black so you can put it back into the same pocket. And got there in just 3 attempts on that one, so quite pleased with that. So for this next one, you can't pot the black to the middle pocket because the red's in the way, and you can't double it back directly to the opposite middle because the other red's in the way. So the idea is to knock the black ball forward, and then as it comes back to strike the cue ball, which then redirects it into the middle pocket. And this one's quite tricky, and as you can see, it took me quite a few attempts to get this right, because you're almost hitting the black ball straight, just generating just a tiny angle. You want it to hit the white ball almost half ball as it comes back. So you generate a slight angle, and you need to just screw back the cue ball a couple of inches so that it strikes it when it's about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 inches away from the middle pocket. So if you overcook it, if you screw the cue ball back too much, then the black hits it too late and won't go into the middle. And if you don't generate any screw back, then it hits it too early and it'll run into the other red. So you can see quite a lot of attempts here. When I'm doing these things, I'm trying to sort of learn from each one as well. So just assessing what I've done on the previous one and trying to adjust slightly. And with a lot of these, you see people do this and it looks amazing first time, but it's a low percentage shot. This is not the sort of thing you'd do easily in a game. Even if you saw it come up, your chances of completing this, depending on your skill level, obviously, are fairly slim. So it's one that looks good when you get it right, but not very easy to do. So the idea on this one is to use the jaws to spin the cue ball around the red in the middle to pot the black. So you play into the first jaw, and the idea is to bounce off that into the second jaw. The cue ball should come out to about the middle of the table, and then the topspin takes hold and curves the cue ball round into the black. And you can see from these first couple of attempts that they can go wildly wrong if you don't get it right. You're aiming almost to pot the ball with lots of topspin, and then as it bounces off, it grips the cloth and the topspin pulls it forward into the black. And just the 3 attempts on there, which is again is quite good because that's not the easiest one to do, and you can see from the first couple of attempts, if you get it slightly wrong you can look quite silly. So in this one, the angle to get up and down the table to the red is blocked by the yellow in the middle of the table. So what we're trying to do here is go off the first cushion, but with lots of right hand side, so that when it then strikes the second cushion, the spin brings it back and tries to pot the red into the corner. And you've got to generate quite a lot of side in this shot. You don't really see it off the first cushion, which is why it looks quite good, because you don't see it change direction. It comes off the first cushion so shallow that the spin doesn't take any effect until it hits the second cushion, and then it brings it back in the opposite direction. So if you can pull this off, it looks quite impressive, but you've got to generate quite a lot of spin. You're quite close into the cushion here as well, so you've really got to get as wide as you can on the cue ball to get it to come back. And you can see on a lot of these attempts I'm just missing it by a fraction or so. I mean, obviously you could, if you overdid it, you'd come off the side cushion as well and catch the red, but it's hard enough trying to generate enough spin to actually get it directly anyway. So this last one's probably the easiest out of all of these, and this is actually the first sort of trick shot that I learned to do myself. You can't play up and down the table to hit the red because the top yellow's in the way, and you can't play across the bottom because the other yellow's in the way. So all you have to do is play the ball up and round the angles off 3 cushions to pot the red in the corner. And it's quite straightforward. You just play with left hand side or running side, strike the cue ball about between the middle pocket and the bulk line, and the ball should naturally just run around the angles and pot the red into the corner. And this is the only one that I did actually do first time. Just a quick shout out to our sponsors, Table Time Sports. If you're interested in purchasing pool cues, accessories, tables, anything to do with the game of pool, then check out their website in the link above. If you want to see more practice routines and pool tutorials, then please remember to subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the equipment I use in this video, then there are links in the description below.